Welcome back, everyone, to the It's Destiny podcast. This is episode 7, and today I'm going to be talking about daddy issues. Like I mentioned in the last episode, this is probably something very vulnerable to talk about because I do have PTSD and other issues because of this. I'm going to be talking about my dad. Great. Great. But once again, I have my notes here. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages about this topic. The first thing is the definition of daddy issues. It's different for everyone, I would assume. But I wrote down not having an active relationship with a father. So, growing up, he yelled a lot and he was very physically abusive. And we were scared of him. This was long before Chase and Callie. When I was 12, he decided to do drugs. I mean, he had a history with drugs in the past, like weed and like acid and then shrooms, I think. And I was like, that's like teenager, like experimental stuff. I would assume that if you become a father, you would stop doing all that immature stuff. But I guess not. So, anyways, he was doing drugs when I was 12, hard drugs. His choice of drug was bath salts. Yup. I was 12 and Jasmine was 10. He chose drugs over the family. He went psycho. He had a psychotic break. He literally put nails in the ceiling, ripped up our stuffed animals because he thought that there were cameras in there. And then he destroyed the house. Moved everything around, trash everywhere, like he was looking for something. Yeah. We had to stay with our papa, his dad, for I think a week or two. And we had to go to school and act like nothing was wrong at our house and nothing was wrong in our life. It was really hard. I don't remember talking about it to anyone. But yeah, it was rough. We were confused, scared, sad. My sister was sleeping one night when I first found out about him doing drugs. He was screaming at my mom at the top of his lungs, and I looked down the stairs and I yelled, "Don't yell at my mom." And then he stormed up in the doorway because it was 2 stories at one point, our house. And I'm having anxiety over this. I'm literally shaking right now. Anyways, I took my anxiety medicine. So, it should be working in a minute. Plus, I had an energy drink. So, anxiety and energy drinks are not a good combination. Excuse me. Anyways, I yelled, "Don't yell at my mom." He went to the door and he said that we were dead to him, and then he sped off in his little green truck. Yeah. But yeah, he had a psychotic break. It was pretty bad. Sped off somewhere. I went downstairs and it was the first time I've ever seen my mom cry, like hysterical. And she kept telling me it's okay, go back to bed. And I was like, no, what's wrong? And she told me like, your dad's on drugs. And then I went upstairs. I was crying, and then Jasmine woke up. I don't know how the heck she didn't hear that. And then she was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like, "Dad's doing drugs." And then she was like, "What?" And I was like, "He was supposed to be our hero." Bruh. Please stop. Pause. Anyways. Yeah, his choice of drug was bath salts. And he still does it. And he's not in our life. Hasn't been for about a year now. Um, but yeah. We are trying to get in the process of him reuniting with the kids, but he's not putting in the work. Like he I feel like I'm skipping around. Um but I'm going to say this first. He had a chance to start over and not put his other two children, Chase and Callie, through what me and Jasmine, my sister, went through. But no. He said, let's do drugs. Again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You do that. Yeah. 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 And, he made insane accusations about certain family members. I'm not going to go into that because it's like way too personal. But if you don't care for your kids in the state of Kentucky, if you don't care for your kids or see your kids over 90 days, it's considered as abandonment. And we're going on 1 year of him not seeing or talking to the kids. You have to do something called the reunification process. And he's not putting in the work. Of course. Of course. Because drugs are more important than seeing your kids. Okay. Cool. But we've been doing this since February of this year, 2025. We've been doing this process since February. He's lying about everything, saying my mom blocked him on the co-parenting app, trying to reach out and ask about the kids. No. Liar. Liar. He's a gaslighter, narcissist, manipulator, love bomber, and liar. Anyways, yeah, he's refusing to do drug tests because he said that he is fine. If you're fine, do the drug test. Hello? Okay. Yeah. You're drug free. You're drug free. We believe you. Let's meet up somewhere so you can see the kids. Drug free my ass. Pardon my French. Yeah, so he was trying to say that my mom blocked him and he's been trying to reach out, but that's false. He keeps flying to California every month, almost every week, to see his little girlfriend who he cheated on my mom with. And he's living in a house, and only pays $150 to live there. Are you serious? Don't call me Shirley. Because this is crazy. But yeah, he flies there literally almost every month. We don't know how he affords the tickets. His little girlfriend probably pays for it. I don't know. But he struggles with paying child support. He only pays $150 a week for child support for both kids. Total $150. Cool. But you want to go to California and buy drugs. Something's a little fishy. But yeah, he cheated on my mom with a lot of people. He also got fired for sexual harassment. So that should tell you what kind of person he is. Yeah. Sorry. Anyways, growing up, he just yelled a lot, and he was physically abusive, like I said, and he was always verbally abusive, especially while doing this whole reunification process. Um, Making up lies and everything, avoiding CPS. Is that what it's called? Yeah, CPS. Yes. I had to double check in my brain. Sorry. He he never answered the door when CPS came to talk to him about seeing the kids again. He avoided that. And then the person was like, I'm not going all the way out to wherever he lives because it was far away. It's far away. And she said, I'm just going to close the case. Lazy! You don't want to go to his house, do your job? Okay. Cool. So you don't really care about children who need their father in their life? But it's way better without him in our life, like for real. It's so peaceful. We don't gotta worry about cheating. We don't gotta worry about drugs. We don't gotta worry about verbally abusing the children and us. And abuse. We don't gotta worry about that anymore. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Because him living with us, he got kicked out like twice. And then one day he just moved himself back in and tried to act like different and like so he can stay. Yeah. And then he got kicked out again because he was bad on drugs again. Even worse. So yeah. The last time he put his hands on me, I was like 21, I think. 21. Um he yelled at my little sister at the time. She was probably like 3 or 4. But she was doing something and he like screamed at her, and I was like, don't yell at her like that. Don't talk to her like that. He got up from the couch so quick and got in my face and told me to get the F out. Who the F do you think you're talking to? And he started pushing me to the front door because I was in the kitchen. Sorry. And I was just shaking and crying, and then Jasmine was in her room and she came out and grabbed me and put her in her room, and I was just sobbing. Yeah, it was really scary. Yeah, so he failed 11 drug tests, and he's very selfish, especially with his addiction. I'm sorry I keep doing that. It's a habit. Then two years later, like recently, has it been 2 years? I think it's been longer than that. He got even worse into drugs. That's when he started even crazier accusations that I can't bring up. He also threatened to kill himself. He called my mom and was shaking a pill bottle, laughing about it. And then at one point, my dad said that his little girlfriend and my mom can share him. Weirdo. But yeah, Callie's in therapy now because of everything that's gone on. She was physically abusive to her the most, and we don't know why. He even said that Chase is his favorite kid, which was super obvious because of how he treated, I should say. But she's in therapy now, and she takes ADHD medicine and something else for like mood. I think I can't remember. I don't want to say anything because I don't remember. I don't want to give false information. point of information. Eric Mays, R.I.P. He was so funny. Anyways. Sorry, apparently I ran out of storage on my other phone even though there's only 3 pictures. Cool. But anyways, I forgot what I was saying because I was dealing with this. I gotta make sure the light's on right there. Hopefully it doesn't turn off. But anyways, the kids are super strong. Besides everything, with Chase, it's out of sight, out of mind. So it doesn't really bother him, but it bothers Callie like insanely much, and I don't really understand it because he was the most abusive towards her. She's been acting out and everything. But I used to be sad about it, but now I pretend like he's not alive. 'Cause, yeah. And I was also angry about it as well. Kind of still am a little angry with the things that he's been doing and has been doing all this time. I wish I had a dad. I mean, I think of, you know, who's gonna walk me down the aisle, and I'm thinking, Chase, he can do it. But definitely not him. Yeah, so let me see. I feel like I left some things out. Yeah, so see that camera dying, that phone dying, my podcast phone dying messed me up. I was on a roll. And I can't look at my text messages of what my mom told me to add in because I'm using my actual phone to, record. I think I wrote some more stuff down actually. He had a psychotic break for sure. He's very verbally abusive towards my mom when he does like message her on the co-parenting app. Like he is hardcore into marijuana and he sent a picture of his marijuana card. Like, okay, that's still a drug and we don't want the kids around that. He's been gone for years now. Not years. Well, it's been a year. But I think it's better that he's not in our life anymore. It's more peaceful. I have an insane fear about running into him at the store or, I'm with the kids out somewhere and he just shows up or he's there at the same time because I'm not good with confrontation at all. Like it's bad. I could never be a cop. I was telling my mom about this because I've been watching Karen arrest videos. I could not do that. Anyways, I have an insane fear about that. And it just gets my anxiety going. So I don't like going places by myself like I said before, but I do. But if it's like in the morning or afternoon, like 12 or 1, I'd bring the kids because he gets off work at 3 or 4, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I avoid going out with the kids when he's working. I don't even know if he still has a job. He kept saying that he was getting laid off, that the company is laying people off, and just he's probably lying. Liar, liar. Like that lizard meme. He presses a button that says lizard, 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 lizard. I think that's so funny. I saw a video last night about it. Anyways, but yeah, like I said, Chase, he doesn't ask about dad or anything. He recently got a haircut and I thought my dad was just gonna show up, but my aunt knows that he can't see the kids yet because of his drug problem, and the reunification process and everything. So we go different times and stuff. So my dad doesn't have a close appointment with my aunt and Chase and Callie. Out of sight, out of mind. But yeah, anyways, it's I sometimes think about it like I got my hair done a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and I went to Hardee's because I wanted a cherry coke. Cherry coke. And then when I was pulling away, I saw him inside the building with some guy eating. And then I just started crying on the way home. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hate him. You know, like, why did he have to choose drugs? Why this? Why that? I was just a mess. He made his decision. And he is better off not in your life, my life, and the kid's life, and my mom's life. And, you know, I think it's better like that. We don't gotta worry about nothing. We're surprised that he hasn't overdosed yet because that's how bad it is. His choice is bath salts. I would never do drugs. I've never done drugs. Weed, yes. But I was a teenager, you know. All teenagers need to experiment or want to experiment. I went through a breakup, my first breakup, and first, we weren't actually, you know, I wouldn't count that as a relationship. Well, it was on and off, so maybe. Anyways, we broke up, and then I decided to go spend the night with my friend, and they were buying weed, and I decided to try it. And then the next morning when my mom picked me up, I told her because I was crying and I felt bad that I did it. Anyways, yeah, I don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Dare. If you learn that in school. I forgot what it stands for. I forgot what it stands for. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so I don't do drugs. Never have been. Never have. Never will. Unless they're prescribed like my anxiety medicine that I took before this. Yep. I've been stressed out because of this episode. I don't want certain people coming at me because of sharing my opinion, my story, and my experience. I believe I can say how I feel, when I feel, and what I think. But at the end of the day, daddy issues don't define who I am forever. They're a part of my story, but not the end of it. And the same goes for you if you have daddy issues yourself. Whether it's for drugs or drinking or, you know, gaslighting, narcissism, love bombing, manipulation, whatever it is, it doesn't define who you are at all. And so I will end with this. Thank you so much for watching. But anyways, hopefully this doesn't cut off while I'm still trying to talk. But yeah, I gotta figure that out. But anyways, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. But I'm excited for episode 10 because it's gonna be called Everything Bagel, and I'm just gonna be talking nonsense. Because who doesn't want to hear my nonsense? I'm excited. Talk about anything and everything without worrying about one topic. I'm excited. It's It's gonna be called Everything Bagel. Yes. So excited. But anything. But anyways, thank you for watching, and once again, like and subscribe. Peace.